What is up, guys? It is the Citrus Panda here today, and today I'm coming at you with a review for episode 25 of Season 2 of Haikyuu. Let's do this. Alright, so welcome to the last episode of a series that I actually completed, because I had never done that before. I always just like stopped halfway through the anime or something. Even if I finished watching it, I just wouldn't review it all the way through. But we finished this one, except one episode we missed because I was busy. But other than that one episode, we got it. As far as the future of the channel and where we're going, I'm going to make a video in a couple of days talking about that. We're going to talk about the anime right now. So let's get into episode 25. This episode, back in the day, whenever probably, it was maybe like 6, 7 episodes back, possibly, or more than that back, probably way more than that. I would be like, yeah, this is basically just a setup episode. Well, like, this is just one of those setup episodes. The only difference is that we have to wait 7 months to get the actual payoff, which, yeah, I mean, that's quite some time, although it is necessary, 100% necessary that we give 7 months to this anime for this third season to come out. We do not want filler. We do not want made-up stuff that doesn't even need to be there. We don't want bad pacing, and we don't want any of that stuff. So 7 months is good. From what I've talked to other people about, then they've read the manga, I think the match from Shiwatorizawa, which is the big hype-up kind of thing coming up in next season, is actually over in the manga, and they have slightly more content than that. Don't quote me on that. I haven't read the manga. Maybe I was reading comments badly, but basically they have all that content already done, plus there's 7 months between then and now. So that's like 4 chapters a week, or 4 chapters a month, sorry. They are putting out 4 chapters of manga a week. Like, I don't know how you would do that. But 4 chapters every month, and in 7 months. So, I mean, if we're just doing that math, it's like 28. But it's probably going to be less than that, because sometimes the manga artist, like, has a short break, or it just isn't in that volume of Shonen Jump. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is that there's a lot more content that they can come up with during that time. So I want that time to be there, because not only will new chapters be introduced, but there's already chapters that have been out that haven't been covered by the anime. So in the grand scheme of things, we will have another 25 episode season. Not a big deal at all. We just have to wait a little bit, which I'm okay with, 100%. It's okay. We waited like way longer for the second season than we're going to wait for the third season. Like, we have the confirmation now that there's going to be a third season, so that's good. Anyway, this is all basically set up. I mean, we have, Obujosai or Saijo, what I always call them Saijo. I always call them Obujosai in the review first, then I switch over to Saijo. But basically, they're kind of sad. They're kind of down in the dumps. That's understandable. But Oikawa has a short meeting with Ushijima from Shiwatorizawa, and I'm just like running through these names like I think I know what I'm saying, but I don't. I think it's just Shiwatorizawa. I think that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. I don't really care if that's right or not, but. Anyway, he has a short conversation with Ushijima, and, it's pretty cool. I'm going to use that for the thumbnail, like Oikawa's face whenever he's like, yeah, don't ever forget my worthless pride or something. I guess Oikawa, back in the day, I think we were told this before, but he could have joined Shiwatorizawa's team, but he didn't. He went to Saijo instead, which, I mean, I guess that was up to him in the end, but he definitely would have been better. I mean, not better, but he would have definitely done and gotten farther in Shiwatorizawa. Imagine a team with Ushijima, although I haven't seen him play yet, he's supposed to be really good, and Oikawa in the same team. Like, man, that'd be crazy. But I'm glad he went to Saijo. I think it was the better choice, because we kind of got like that team actually became very, very good. And overall, yeah, some people blaming themselves for some things on Saijo's side, but other than that, it's normal things whenever you lose something. You're like, you look for someone to blame, sort of, and sometimes you blame yourself or whatever, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, everybody played well, they did well, that's how it went. Now, one thing to note is that they went back, Karasuno went back to their high school, and there's like a bunch of people cheering for them. I guess they like broadcast that stuff on TV, maybe, I guess they do. One thing that I found interesting is not that everybody was there and cheering for them, because I guess, school spirit, whatever. But their high school is like 4 floors tall. Like you got I could see like 4 floors, and then like there had to be one on the bottom, so like that's 5 stories. I mean, I know that that the stereotypical let's go to the roof anime, hang out on the roof, which they don't actually do in Japan. I've heard from a lot of people that doesn't actually happen. It's against the rules to go on the roof. But an anime makes for a pretty cool place to go. Regardless, that is a huge school. Like that's ginormous. Mine's a basement, a floor, and then another floor. So if you want to be 3 floors, but one of them's not an actual floor, it's a basement. So yeah, it's pretty huge. But I guess at the same time, maybe it's smaller, or maybe it's a ton of kids. I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe it's like tall but not wide or something like that. Maybe it makes sense. But anyway, I'm talking about Japanese school sizes, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Anywho, one of the things to notice is that Shuo Torizawa, whenever they were talking about who won on TV, they were talking about who won and what their scores were. Shuo Torizawa, I always thought was like an extremely dominant team. Like they just like destroyed people, but they aren't really. Like they're really good, obviously, but like the scores between the teams that we never even saw them play, they were like 25-20 or 25-21, which is a big gap. 5 or 4 points means that they were leading the entire game by that amount of points. Most likely, they were like, in the lead for quite some time. But it means that they're not like demigods. They're not like ridiculously overpowered or anything like that. And that's one of the things I like about the show. It's realistic. Like no team out there is gonna be like just leaps and miles ahead of another team. Although it might be, like, in terms of skill and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, Shuo Torizawa is not some immortal team. Like, Karasuno definitely has a chance to beat them. And if I were to guess, I would say that they are going to beat them. Don't spoil that for me in the comments. If you do, I'm going to delete the comment. But, I mean, it would probably, I don't know. At the end of the day, I think they're going to win. The reason being is that this is the last year for the third years to play on the team. So it has to be like one of those sports anime, like, where it's like, the third years are leaving. We have to win for them. Stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this was a great last episode. It wasn't that hype. It was hyping us up for the next season. It wasn't as crazy as the last episode, but whenever you're doing a seasonal, like a season-by-season anime, usually the next to last episode is like utterly amazing, and then the last episode wraps it up and gets you excited for the next season. That's usually how it goes, so it was a good setup. I like it. I'm looking forward to the next season. I'm looking forward to also growing my channel between then and now, because I want to start reviewing other anime and just like have some, have a good footing. And maybe by the time that is, I'll be more popular with as far as like reviews go and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. My plan right now is to start reviewing other things, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm also looking forward to reviewing this, because whenever it does come out, you can be sure that I will be reviewing it week by week. Also, possibly a full-length anime review coming out for Haikyuu Season 2. I like doing full-length reviews every once in a while. I might start working on that, I'm not sure. But until next time, guys, I will see you later. And also, 7 months from now, we have a good anime coming out for sure. Adios.